So let's look at how we deal with fractions in an equation. So here's a trick you can use when you want to deal with fractions. We'll start with this one. This is the trick I like to use. So step one is to give everything in the problem a denominator if it doesn't already have one. So this -4 doesn't have a denominator. I'm going to give it one. The next step I'm going to do is I am going to put my x up into the numerator of whatever fraction it is sitting with. So I'm going to write it like this. Now, I am going to make all of the denominators match. The fastest way to make them match is to find a common denominator. And the fastest way to do that is to just multiply the denominators that I have. So my common denominator here is 5 times 1, which is 5. So I'm going to rewrite the problem like this. I'm going to rewrite it with both denominators being 5 and the x still living where it is. Now what I need to do is change everything so that it matches. Well, this denominator is already 5, so the problem doesn't need to change. But this one isn't 5. What do I have to do to 1 to turn it into 5? I would need to multiply it by 5. And of course, in a fraction, if you do the bottom times 5, you have to do the top times 5 to match. So that becomes -20. Well, here's the little secret. Now that the two denominators match, we are going to dump the denominators. And sometimes I'll say dump the denoms to shorten it up. But then people think I say dump the demons, which is kind of funny because we all think fractions are evil anyway. So let's dump those demons. We just dump those denominators and we write just the top. Now we solve it as a one-step equation, and there's our answer. Let me show you on another problem. So the first thing we do is we give everybody a denominator. The second thing we do is we move x up to the top. Now we need to find that common demon, the common denominator. 3 times 1 times 7 is 21. So I write x over 21 minus something over 21 equals something over 21. There were 3 fractions, 3 fractions. This was a 3. It needs to become 21. To do that, I have to multiply by 7. So that becomes 7. This was a 1. It needs to become 21. I have to multiply by 21. That 2 becomes a 42. This was a 7. It needs to become a 21. I have to multiply by 3. That 4 becomes a 12. Everybody's got a 21. Everybody's numerators have been fixed. So now dump the demons. And lo and behold, I get a two-step equation. No fractions, no mess, just something I can easily solve. And oh well, the answer comes out a fraction, but it's okay. Because it's not like I actually had to do math on that fraction. It just came out that way. And that's how we do equations with fractions.